The intersection at 52nd Street and North West Radial Highway is poorly designed, neglected, and unsafe. Even the briefest observation reveals how the extreme skew, high speed limit, taxing restrictions on walk signals, and unmarked crosswalks add up to a poor design that discourages good behavior. Pedestrians stray as they walk, cross with traffic whether they have a walk signal or not, often running because there is no countdown, and choose the quickest route to cross the dangerous street. Motorists block pedestrians, ignore the "no turn on red" sign, turn into the pedestrian traffic, and run red lights. And pedestrians must negotiate this intersection at all times, even when visibility and stopping distance are much worse, and the signal's lack of information has more drastic consequences. The skew makes the crossing longer than the crossing at 72nd Street and Dodge, and encourages pedestrians to walk the shorter route. Most schools get reduced speed limits when appropriate, but this intersection just gets a school crossing sign, presumably for fear of impacting the motorist flow. We can improve the intersection with a bump out to decrease the crossing length, clearly marked crosswalks, a reduced speed limit at appropriate times, and community engagement for continuous improvement. Many pedestrians ignore the signal system rather than deal with its taxing restrictions. Pedestrians approaching North West Radial are always greeted with a "don't walk" signal, and by default, the signal never displays a countdown, even when there is time to cross. Pedestrians must request a walk signal and wait up to 90 seconds, while motorists are privileged to proceed. When pedestrians have to wait more than 40 seconds for a walk signal, they start taking risks. With waits of up to 90 seconds, it's not surprising to see risk-taking like this. The signal timing should consider pedestrians as a customer, not a nuisance, with these changes. At the start and end of school, walk signals should be delivered immediately or displayed by default. At other times, walk signals should be delivered within 40 seconds. And pedestrians at all crossings should always be informed by an accurate countdown. The city has long neglected to paint these crossings. The longest, most dangerous crossing, 130 feet across 8 lanes of traffic, is not marked except for this faded paint, pointing in the wrong direction, a leftover from 2010 or so before the ADA cutouts were installed. On 52nd Street, the motorist lanes got a fresh coat of paint recently, but the pedestrian crossing didn't. Whoever painted the lane wasn't thinking of pedestrians. The paint goes too far, encouraging vehicles to stop in the crossing area. So the actual crossing is something like this, with pedestrians pushed out near the high-speed traffic on North West Radial. 11th and Jackson has only 2 lanes of slow-moving traffic, no nearby schools, and gets regular coats of fresh paint. 52nd and Northwest Radial, near 3 schools, 5 bus stops, with 8 lanes of traffic at 35 miles per hour, is unpainted. There are many other examples of the city's absurd and fickle administration of crosswalk paint. All we can say is, Paint this crosswalk, Mayor Stothert. The city of Omaha has recently committed to Vision Zero, a strategy to eliminate all traffic fatalities and severe injuries. The dismal intersection at 52nd Street and North West Radial Highway is an obvious and overdue place to start. We deserve safe, well-designed, clearly marked intersections.